What's going on? I'm DJ Hazmat.
Yeah, and I'm Matty Wills. What's in that red cup, boy? Got going.
Something very necessary after a game like this.
Talking about the
Don't
cardiac kids.
a solo cup is necessary. I have to take a sip of something after this game because my wife's heart, the whole heart of Cleveland. It's like,
Hey, but at the end of the day, the Browns win, man. 3-1 Cleveland Brownies. They win 14-7 in Minnesota. Baker did not have the greatest game, but I'll talk about him a little bit later on in a segment we like to call GTFOH. Kirk Cousins also was forced to have a very inaccurate game as well, which is something that he hasn't been doing these first few weeks. So good, solid win for the Browns. And my number one takeaway from this game and I would like to know what yours is. My number one takeaway from this game is the Browns defense is for real. They are for real. Now, after the first drive, I wasn't sure, but after every single drive after that first drive, I mean, the Browns defense is for real. There's not much more you need to say. But we have to do a show, obviously. So hopefully you say a lot.
Maybe I shouldn't say anything, but I mean, the Browns defense definitely, you know what I'm saying, for the second week in a row, showed up and showed out. And it was necessary today because the offense was very inconsistent. I'll say the word to that. So, but this is like what I called out a couple of weeks ago. I said this defense, the face of Myles Garrett, has to show up and the rest of the defense will follow. When Myles Garrett is making plays, everybody else is going to make plays. So because anybody that's like JOK, for instance, I got to give props to my man JOK.
Boy, balled out today.
Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa.
I don't know how to say
it. Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa.
Got you.
From Notre Dame, our rookie. This guy might be contending for Defensive Player of the Year. We'll look if he continues to make plays like this. He's all over the field. And this is what we've been missing in our defense. Our defense, though we have a Myles Garrett, which is great. The great defenses that you think about in the history of the NFL, the Baltimore Ravens, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Chicago Bears, they always had a guy that just was just a wild animal on the field. With Chicago, it was like Mike Singletary, the linebacker. With the Ravens, it was Ray Lewis. You know what I'm saying? So
what up, Tracy?
Troy Polamalu for the Pittsburgh Steelers, a guy that's just everywhere all the freaking time. This is who we have in number 28, ladies and gentlemen. And look, I just look forward to more plays like this happening from this young man. He's special, and he's going to make a lot of plays for us. And kudos to the general management team for being able to get him in the second round.
Right.
This guy is a first-round talent, and we got him in the second round because people thought he was too small. They didn't think they knew what they could do with him on the field. No, you just put him on the field and let him make plays, because he's special, man. So I just wanted to take it there first and give the roses before you start, stomping on graves and stuff.
I'm not stomping on no graves. JOK, to just kind of accent what you just said, second on the team in tackles today as a rookie. 7 tackles, 5 of them were solo tackles. I want to shout out Jadeveon Clowney, who got hurt on that last drive and came back or the second to the last drive, and then came back into the game and made a hell of a play on that last ditch effort Minnesota had when they were going to the end zone. Got pressure rushing 3, and that pressure was Clowney. So shouts out to him. Also, the game we won, we're tied for first place with Cincinnati. But if we want to go where we think this team can go, we need better play out of our quarterback. Baker Mayfield did not have a great game today. Yes, we got the win, but your quarterback was subpar. Couple numbers, 15 of 33, which is less than 50%. So all that, leading the league in completion percentage, all that's dead after this week. Dead. No touchdowns, which isn't a surprise to this point. He hasn't thrown many this year. No interceptions, which we'll take. Now, there were a couple of times, as we were texting back and forth, where I just thought we all saw him. Everybody in America will see how many passes he overthrew today. But there were just a couple of decisions in that second half where he had Felton strung out. It was a 3rd and short. He had Felton in the flat, and he wanted to run. I don't know about the decision making that I seen out of Baker today, but we got the win. You ain't going to be able to hold everybody to 7 points, though. So hopefully he can improve on that. And, I'm not sure. Well, I kind of got an idea where you're going with it, but, hopefully the chemistry issues can be worked out, because one of the things that I think that we're going to need deeper into the season is the ability to get the ball to the outside, which is our wide receivers. If they take away the stuff that's inside, we're going to need to be able to get the ball to the outside. To this point, haven't been able to do that. Rashard Higgins, though, your boy, Cleveland's favorite wide receiver, made a couple of timely catches today for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I'm not going to argue with you about what Baker Mayfield. No, Baker Mayfield did not show up today. Baker Mayfield had an off day. We spoke about it at halftime.
Yeah.
I've spoken about it probably a season ago. And it's, I'm so in tune into the game because we could never get from one score away from these guys that I had to say that, I wanted to pull up audio of a song that I made last year. I don't remember who we played, but I know I took a Lizzo song, the Lizzo song, Truth Hurts. And one of the lines I said in that song, and this was last year, was, Baker, you seem to play better when you don't cut your beard. It's weird. I said that in a line in a song. Now, if you look at Baker, he's got the stubble. He's got the 5 o'clock shadow going. He shaved his beard last week. I don't know if you shaved it because you wanted to be clean shaven when Odell Beckham came back. And you spoke about that Felton play. And, you texted me about that. And I told you, if you look at the replay, Odell Beckham was in the vicinity and Baker had his eyes keyed on Odell Beckham in that play. Because there's no, we're looking at it like, how do you not see Felton standing right there?
He most certainly wasn't looking at his way.
The play was designed to go to Felton, in my opinion. Like, he was wide open from the start of that play. It seemed really easy from watching it on TV. I don't know what Baker saw on that play. I'll watch the press conference because I'm sure they're going to ask him about that. And I'm not going to make excuses for Baker Mayfield when he doesn't play well. I know you always want to dump on him, you know what I mean? And this game gave you the opportunity to stand on your Baker Mayfield soapbox.
It's not about that.
Michael Gibson. I want to shout out everybody that has given comments so far. Shout out to Tracy, Rachel, Corey.
Oh, this might be the take of the week right here.
Okay, let's see what's going on. He said, "What's up, fellas? Yes, a victory today was special
for sure.
Thank goodness for that defense.
Absolutely.
Baker seemed to be in his own head today and throwing off his front foot, which led to those high, crappy throws. Do you all think Chubb is hurt? Outside of 1 or 2 strong runs, he just didn't seem to have his normal explosiveness. But a W is sweet." Go Browns. That is.
I'll just say this about Chubb. He had 100 yards. So, I mean, he ran the ball 21 times, 100 yards for the game, rushing 4.8 yards per carry. So I don't think that he looks hurt to me. I think that Minnesota's line is an above average line in the NFL. And, he had to work a little bit harder to get those yards today. But again, he did have 100 yards to the point of Baker's, seemingly off, well, not seemingly, his off game seemingly being in his own head. I don't understand why we don't run the ball more. We run the ball well, right? And we always have a lot of carries, but it seems like there are opportunities, especially in the first half of this game and last week's game, where there were opportunities where we should have been running the ball. For example, when we go down there, they score the touchdown on the first possession, right? We go right up the field. We're going forward on 3rd and 4th down anyway. It's clear. We all know Stefanski, if it's 4th and short, he's going. We know that. And they threw it threw it. They went pass on 3rd and 4th down. Instead of going, you're less than 5 yards away from the end zone. Instead of going, run. You were moving the moving the pile every single time you caught a run play. So there are just certain times where I think that we should be running, even though we do run it a lot already. But maybe, that's why I'm not a head coach in the NFL, and Stefanski is, because he's 3-1 at this point with the Cleveland Browns, and he won a playoff game last year. So I don't think, this week to me is going to be about nitpicking. We're going to nitpick. We won the game, so what can we nitpick about to make the narrative be about? So I think that we're going to find some things about that, and Baker made him an easy target this week.
Yeah, you talk as if you doing a podcast by yourself.
What
you know what I'm saying? Like you never end when you're making your point.
I just ended.
Yeah, after 10 minutes of talking. I get it. And I understand. And you say you want to rush more. I mean, between Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, there were 35 attempts. Nick Chubb had 21 attempts. Kareem Hunt with 14. I mean, if there was a single running back, not the luxury of running backs that we have, and you just had one guy, you'd want him to touch the ball at least 35 times a game. 30, if he's touching the ball 35 times a game. I'm just saying that to say, no. I'm just saying you want us to run more. They ran a lot. You know what I mean?
They did.
What I'm saying is give kudos to the Minnesota defense for shutting down plays. I think it had more to do with the play calling in certain situations, more so than whether we ran the ball enough. Yes, in combination with Baker being off on throws, because his Baker being off definitely killed drives today, because those plays were wide open, and all Baker had to do was be accurate in certain situations, and this should have been a blowout, to be honest. Because I think if a Minnesota Viking fan is watching Kirk Cousins perform today, Kirk Cousins was forced to make the bad plays he was making. Baker Mayfield made the bad plays on his own. He had a clean pocket most times. He wasn't being pressured, and he just made bad throws. That's just what it is. We ran the ball 35 times, and if you throw in when Baker Mayfield ran, and along with one rushing attempt from Odell Beckham, it was 38 rushes. So
let me ask you a question.
To 33 passes. So I'm just saying that the plays were there to be made. They just didn't execute. We should have blown this team out of the water. They held Thielen down, who's been balling all season. And I'm mad that I didn't sit him in fantasy football and have more faith in the Browns defense holding him down, because he did nothing in the game. The defense showed up. The offense kind of didn't. They kind of didn't. We did enough to win the game, but it's just not, it's not what you want. We should have blown this team out. There were plays to be made. You think it doesn't fall back on we should have ran more. It falls back on execution of the plays that were called. And Stefanski, this was his homecoming, and he wanted to show out. If the plays that didn't work would have worked because of the off passes or bad decisions, Stefanski would have came out here shining like a diamond, sir. The plays were there, but our quarterback was off today. When it was time to pass, our quarterback wasn't there for us. We ran the ball well. Yeah.
He was off today for sure, and that's basically my point. When you look up and your quarterback is completing 50% of his passes, and you have two beasts in the backfield, when you get into those third and short situations, maybe instead of being fancy and trying to go for the home run, maybe we should be playing it more safe and handing it off to either Hunt or Chubb, who both had good games.
Hindsight is 2020. Baker didn't make the throws. That's period point.
Right, but my point is
the plays with no.
But my point is,
go back and say the play would have worked if Baker Mayfield simply made an accurate pass.
Okay, so that
would have been a touchdown to Odell Beckham Jr.
Right. Can I respond directly to that? My response directly to that is he wasn't making the passes all game. That's what I'm saying is I would have liked to seen an adjustment to where instead of, because we are seeing Baker from quarter one, he's not accurate. Okay. and we still let him throw the ball 33 times, where he completed less than where he completed less than 50, where he completed less than 50% of his passes. But me and you both said that Baker threw too many times last week. So that's all that I'm saying. Like you said, the situational running is where I would have liked to see more attempts. I'm not saying that we should have ran the ball 10 more times. I'm just saying that there were certain situations where I would have liked to see a run instead of an incomplete pass. That's all that I'm saying.
You know what? And I can understand what you're saying. And in hindsight, I get it. But you've got to expect that your quarterback is going to make an easy throw.
Especially when he wants a big old
plays,
contract.
Baker was set up to have huge success today, and he was off. And that's all you can say about that. I'm not going to second guess the play call because the play call actually worked. Baker Mayfield screwed it up.
I hear you.
And that's just basically what happened today. You know what I mean?
Not for nothing, Jarvis Landry isn't on the field either. And that's definitely a security blanket guy that he can go to.
Wait a minute. No. You know what? I'm not even going to speak on it right now.
Wait, are you about to say, because we've been doing this show for a long time, we know each other are you about to say because Odell's on the field, I shouldn't be wanting my other all-pro wide receiver to be on the field as well? Is that what you're saying? Is two not better than one?
Tracy,
what am I missing?
Tracy Cooper says Mayfield was very off, beard or no beard. He has to believe in his
Baker got to grow that beard back, man.
I don't think Baker has a problem believing in himself. I definitely don't think he has a problem believing in himself. He's never had a problem with that. But I think there's something too when he shaves the beard, man. I don't know, and people might not want to speak about superstitions or things that affect sports, but a lot of people believe in stuff like that, man. He plays terribly when he tries to be clean-faced Baker. If you go back and look, you could go back and look at the actual games. It's actually true. I said it in a song a year ago.
I know.
I said, Baker, you play better when you don't shave your beard. It's weird. That was the line.
That
was the line.
I'm not sure if my sister is still watching, but my sister, I told you at halftime, my sister, my brother, my stepdad.
Hold on, put Jeffrey Lanier's
my stepmom. They're at the game. They were at the game. Baker is a professional QB. Okay. I cannot make excuses for him overthrowing receivers, especially wide open throws. I'm with Jeff on that. Baker had a terrible game. We spent the first.
He did have a terrible game, but he doesn't. He has terrible games when he's clean shaven. He seems to have better games when he got the beard going.
What's the name?
You can say this. It's not an excuse. It's just a coincidence. It's a coincidence that I'm bringing it to people's attention.
I'm with
some people. There are sports guys that do the craziest things about superstitions. We know this. They'll wear the same t-shirt. Michael Jordan wore his North Carolina t-shirt under his Chicago Bulls jersey. You know what I'm saying?
That's
how he felt about that. They made movies about it. Like Mike, he had to have the shoes on. So there may be something to it. There may be not. It's not an excuse. He had a bad game. Overthrowing receivers. I don't give any quarterbacks excuses for that. But there's something to how he plays when he has a full beard versus when he doesn't. He seems to suck when he doesn't have a full beard.
All right. At US Bank Stadium, which is in Minnesota, I just want to shout out my sister real quick. She sent a little video of her and my family cheering on. Jamal, do we have that? Cheering on the Cleveland Browns. That's little sister.
That's your sister?
Yeah, that's my brother with the long dreads. And those are my step parents right there. Stepmom, stepdad. And Rachel is the quietest one at all the family gatherings. Can you tell? Nah, she be loud as hell, bro. I love you, sis.
Browns fans are there's plenty of Browns fans that are very docile in their normal lives. But when they put these colors on and they go to cheer for a game, it's like you'll go to the game with somebody that you know is pretty mild-mannered, and then you'll see them at a Browns game. You're like, where did this person come from? But I like it.
Jeff said, laugh out loud.
You love me, yes, but know what? Know what, Tracy?
Wait, Jeff said you comparing the GOAT shorts
people want
to
their
Baker
points to be
Fields.
so right all the time. You just can't entertain a random thought.
I'm
not saying it's fact. I'm just saying it's a coincidence.
Did you see what Jeff said?
People.
Did you see what Jeff said? He said you comparing the GOAT as an MJ to Baker's beard, which may be a bit premature.
Sports people
Jeff, I feel you, dog.
Conversations are crazy.
Yo,
all I did was mention players that have superstitions, and now I'm comparing Baker Mayfield to the greatest basketball player. I'm done. Can we get off?
We got to do GTFOH, bro.
Watching some more
we got to do GTFOH. We got to do GTFOH
because I can't entertain this
all right,
nonsense.
Run the audio.
Let me pull it up.
Thank you for all the commenters.
I'm comparing Baker Mayfield to Michael
also,
Jordan.
we got to look at our picks, even though I think our picks were the same. So I think we picked the same games this week. So we'll look at our weekly picks in just a second as well. But here go our picks right here. So yeah, Bengals, Bucks, Chargers. I believe I picked Chargers. Yeah,
we all picked the same thing this week.
The same thing.
It's
this
not
week,
fun.
Man. Yeah, and the Bucks game is tonight. Tom Brady traveling back to New England for his first game as a non-Patriot. The Chargers and Raiders just kicked off, and then of course the Bengals won on Thursday and the Browns won this afternoon. So we're still pretty even up right there. You got that GTFOH ready?
Yes, I do.
Because you already know where I'm going. Just let me get mine out the way.
Get the f out of here. Get the f out of here. Get the f out of here. Get the f. Get the f. Get the f. Get the f out of here.
You have the floor, sir.
I will make the obvious selection and go with Baker Mayfield. He can GTFOH because here's the deal. He's waiting for a big old contract extension, right? We're all wondering, when is Baker going to get his deal? And some people are thinking, hey, maybe the front office haven't extended to him the qualifying deal just yet because they aren't quite sure he's the man for the future. Can Baker Mayfield play football? Yes. Does he deserve to be in the NFL? Absolutely. Is he an A1 starter on a Super Bowl contending football team? The jury is still out on that one. That remains to be seen. We're succeeding without him balling out, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'll leave it at that. Baker Mayfield, thanks for the win, but your stats are putrid, so you got to get them out of here this week. Just this week. Who you got?
Okay. Well, that was great. I heard you mention that Baker hasn't gotten an extension, neither has Lamar Jackson. Well, we'll say, we'll keep
facts.
It moving.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? My GTFOH, hold on, let me DJ D-Rec, cut the beat. My GTFOH, sir, is going to you, Matty Wills.
What?
Matty,
Got it.
Wow.
Did you bring up like you, Mr. OBJ?
Yeah.
You know, when we lose a game, it's because OBJ didn't play. Had
right.
OBJ had been in that situation, it would have worked out differently.
Yeah.
Had OBJ been in the game, it would have made the difference. Yet, after we have a close win with the Minnesota Vikings, you dare
Thanks, Jeff.
bring up the fact that we don't have Jarvis Landry. Now you're calling for
Get the f out.
now you're calling for Jarvis Landry,
Bruh.
Now wait a minute. Is OBJ the difference or is he not? Because Jarvis Landry's not on the field, who needs to be on the field, sir? Because it's when Jarvis Landry was on the field, it's because we didn't have OBJ. Now that OBJ's on the field, it's because we don't have Jarvis Landry. Did you dare bring up? Wait a minute. No.
Get the f out of here.
You, with your waffling back and forth.
That's not a waffle. Now, if I waffle,
it is a waffle.
That's not a waffle, bro. Come on.
Listen, OBJ is playing the plays. Yes, you had your time. You went in on Baker, deservingly so. Baker was off today, and I said that he had a very off game. I think it has something to do with outer stuff. People don't want to say that, but I'm talking about shaving your beard, superstitious, wearing the same drawers. You know, people do that.
Right.
And all I did was bring up the fact that some of the greatest people we know have done that. They believed in it mentally. They believed it gave them an edge. For Michael Jordan to have worn his North Carolina jersey under his Chicago Bulls jersey for whatever reason he had in his mind, he felt like that gave him an edge. This whole thing about comparing, how can I compare a football player to a basketball player? How? I can only compare. I just hate that part of the conversation. Like, you can't ever bring up another player that has gone through something similar. If they've, once they've gotten to their Hall of Fame status, you can't mention their name. These players that have gone to the Hall of Fame had struggles early on in their careers. So people have ups and downs. They all do. You know what I mean? So to say, how dare you compare him to this person or that person? I'm just mentioning the fact that people who have gone on to greatness have had similar situations in their career and growth. It happens in sports. They didn't just show up and get become Hall of Famers. They had to earn it. They had to go out there and do what they did. They had to go through their trials and tribulations, their ups and downs, and we'll see where their career ends up when their career's over. But I can mention whoever I damn well want to is at the end of the day, because I'm grown.
So I think your GTFOH is for Jeff, not for me, actually. Man,
both of y'all.
To be honest,
you can throw Jeff in there.
All right. Well, listen.
I'll throw Jeff
quickly. I'm not, and I don't want to get into another disagreement with you at 27 minutes in. I will quickly say that I would like for all of our best players to be on the field, because I think that makes our offense better when both of our starting all pro.
I just want to make Jeff. I want to make Jeff feel special.
Get the fuck out of here.
All right, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, listen, yes, I said I would like to have Jarvis Landry on the field because he's our number 2. Some people even say he's our number 1 wide receiver. So, yes, I think that makes everybody's job easier when you have a guy like Landry on the field. That doesn't mean that I don't want Odell out there, and that doesn't mean that I don't think Odell helped us win today, because he did. Look, you cannot play defense the same way if you have a guy like Odell lining up on the outside. You just simply cannot. You can't pay the same attention to the run. You can't pay the same attention to all the other wide receivers out there because Odell is on the field. So he's always going to be a guy that I want to be out there as long as he's on this roster.
Odell with his 2 catches for 27 yards and his 1 run.
Hey, he don't throw it to himself, man. Your boy was wild.
Hey, man, I know some throws were missed, but we didn't need his production to win this game. That's all I'm saying. All I've ever said to you is Odell is the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
He's the cherry on top of a good team. But we don't need him to win.
Odell makes you a Super Bowl contender. Without him, we're not.
We were a Super Bowl contender without him.
No, I disagree.
Yes, we were.
I disagree. We can talk about that next week halftime.
We are. Corey Brooks wants to get one. He's desiring. I think people want this, man. Like, people are desiring.
Corey. Corey, you got to roll out of here with that, man. No,
hold up, Corey. Let me give it to him.
Yeah.
All right, Corey. He just wanted. Corey requested.
No, yeah, and he's gonna get it for that take.
He said Baker.
Nah.
Listen, man. We love y'all, man, for chiming in, man. We have fun, and I talk. Don't take my aggression as like anger. It's just, I talk like this. What is Jeffrey saying with a paragraph? What is he saying?
OBJ can stretch the field, but you have others that can catch well. Higgins, People-Jones, Hooper, etc. Whenever Landry is out, Higgins steps up big time.
I'm gonna give Jeff another one.
Get the out of here.
Because he forgot to mention Felton, because that was the obvious person that could have caught the pass for a
He looks
first
like
down.
he's going to be a player. He
You
looks
know
like he's
what
going
I'm
to
saying?
be a
You named all
definitely-
these other names who had nothing to do with the game, like Peoples Jones. Did he even have a catch today? Did he?
I don't remember hearing his name called. No.
Peoples
So
Jones.
next week, who we got, bro? You already know. Oh, you already know. Tell everybody where you'll be next week.
Oh, LA, baby, going out to the West Coast, out Inglewood, shouty. You know what I'm saying? That's where the Super Bowl is gonna be. When Dre and Snoop and all of them take hold of the Super Bowl thing. Did you hear about that? The Super Bowl halftime show. Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige.
That boy's gonna
what
be
you think about
45
that when
minutes
you heard
long.
about that?
My first thought was that this show is going to be 45 minutes long. That was my first thought.
No, it's 12 minutes. It's 12 minutes long. It's going to be 12 minutes long.
That's what they say. I feel like the Super Bowl halftimes usually run a little bit more than that, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's going to be epic. Look,
12 minutes is long on TV.
No, for sure. I'm with you. And, you know, we work for music stations. We're hip hop fans. We've talked about hip hop throughout, you know, our friendship or whatever. So
I don't sound too impressed.
No, bro, come on. No, I guess that my disdain are for the.
I know there's something there, so you need to get it out.
We're going to see people being angry as the show is going on because they hate hip hop. That's what I'm thrown off about, because every time we get a show that's too black, then we get a bunch of white people complaining about the show being too black, even though they just watched a game or they're watching a game where 80% of the players are black. So I'm preparing myself mentally for that part of it, but I'm looking forward to it. The game is in LA. You got the Kings of California, you know, past and present in terms of Dre and K Dot on there. You got one of the biggest artists ever in the history, and Eminem on there. And Mary J is the queen of of R&B in a lot of people's eyes. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I just don't think it's going to be 12 minutes. It's going to be 15 minimum.
I'm just a little bit disappointed in you going there, Matt. I mean, if you want to know if there are white people out there that don't like, there's plenty of white people that love every artist that is on this show. There's a white artist on this show. If you didn't know,
we know that.
But
I can't wait till we revisit this conversation, because I have some tweets for you.
I don't know what your grandfather been telling you, but at the same time, I think people are gonna really embrace this. Like people that are trying to get,
they said about people that are
trying to get out ahead of this and make it a racial thing. Like, it's Inglewood, California. Who else is supposed to perform?
Do you remember the backlash that The Weeknd got just last year?
About what?
People were mad. His show was a little eccentric, a little weird, but it was still
something about race.
Bro, I'm just telling you that
saying you're automatically assuming that white people don't want to see Dr. Dre and Mary J and Snoop and
I'm
Kendrick.
Not saying all, but I'm saying that a large enough number that will hear about it and feel it after the performance through social. I guarantee it.
I think they're gonna love it, to be honest.
Tracy, we played the Los Angeles Chargers next week. Haz will be at the stadium, so we'll probably have audio.
I'm scouting the area because we plan to be back there in February. We're gonna go there next week, and we plan to get back there in February. So I gotta scout the area, see how it's going. You know, I'm gonna shoot the video, the song out in LA. We hope to have some great visuals. You know what I'm saying? I'll see what I can do with my team of me. Because I don't have nobody to handle it,
big dog.
I'm gonna do what I can do. All right, shout out to Tamara Stone, who jumped in. Is it Tamara or Tamara? Because I don't
looks like Tamara.
Well,
Tamara. Like shout out to Tracy.
Tamara. There's
Jeff,
no Tamara,
who got your GTFOH this week. Our boy Corey, who rides with us every week. We appreciate all y'all comments. We appreciate your views. We'll be back next week. Halftime. Is it a late game next week or what? Has. Wow.
For us, no. Yes.
Is
because
later game.
We're playing in Los Angeles. Right. No, it's going to be at 1:00.
Wow.
Isn't it?
Eastern? You don't know. It doesn't matter. Whenever halftime and post game is next week.
Well, it'll be 1:00 LA time. Even if it's 4 here.
At the 4 o'clock
LA
game
time, 1:00.
Yes, sir.
I'm hoping that's the case, because that's gonna be some jet lag for me.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. The game is at 4:05 Eastern. So we'll see you guys at halftime next week as we are in Los Angeles taking on the Chargers. The Chargers have a good team, so it'll be another nail biter, but we'll see how it goes.
3-1. 3-1. We are 3-1. Y'all celebrate this week. I'm about to get to work on the recap. Make sure you go to the Hey Has TV and check out the video, and please subscribe. Please subscribe. We so close, Cleveland Browns fans, for these videos to do their thing and take over the world. Worldwide Browns backers. Oh, let's go. Subscribe. All right. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Corey. Thank you, Jamal. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Sam. I'm out.
That's it. Thank you to our GTFOH contestants as well, including myself, I guess, since Has wants me to GTFOH. Appreciate y'all. We'll holler at you next.